This is the 2024 Honda CR-V EXL, and in today's Vehicle Visionary video, I'm going to tell you what my favorite features are. Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today I'm at Holmes Honda, and we're going to talk about my favorite features on the non-hybrid version of the CR-V. As always, if you happen to look at this CR-V and say, you know what, I'd love to go into Holmes Honda and buy that model, there's a link in the description of the video. Let's get started. And we'll start with the remote. Like many of you, I love having remote start. I can't imagine not having it now that I've had it on the last few vehicles I've owned. It just makes a big difference, a lot of convenience. And we'll move on to the side view mirrors, which might seem like an unusual thing to list as a favorite feature, but there are some features with the mirror that I really like. Number one, because I use my turn signals when I'm driving. I like to let people know what's going on around them before I turn or change lanes. I like the fact that you have the built-in turn signals in the side view mirrors here on the EXL trim level. Also, these mirrors are heated. That's going to come in handy, especially if you have to leave your vehicle outside during the cooler times of the year, sometimes when you have high humidity as well. And you also have your blind spot information system. Keep in mind, this next feature that is a favorite of mine is not going to be standard on all trim levels. But here on the EXL, we're going to have the power tailgate. That is definitely a must-have. I think that's helpful, although depending on the trim level you go with, if you do not have the power tailgate, it's really pretty easy to deal with because all you do is move it just a little bit and then the dampening takes over and it opens right up. Not a big deal. Also, a favorite not only of mine, but I think a lot of yours as well, is the fact that you have a spare tire. That just, you can't beat that. If you go hybrid, you're not going to have a spare tire. That's one of the really big differences between a non-hybrid and a hybrid version of the CR-V. And something else you'll find that is also different is the fact that you have a little more cargo capacity here. We're looking at 36.6 to 39.3 up to 76.5 cubic feet. So how do we arrive at those numbers? Well, first of all, we're looking at 36.6 with the way everything is set up right now. However, I can go to the 39.3 by moving the floor, just like that. You can't do that with the CR-V hybrid. Well, the dual zone climate control in the front will definitely do a good job of cooling or heating, depending on the time of year and where you live. The entire interior, it sure doesn't hurt to have the air conditioning vents back here. Also, 2 USB ports. Although for me, since you have seating for 3 people back here, I would like to see 3 USB ports, but you can buy an adapter and fix that, no problem. Probably no big deal regardless. Something else that might seem a little strange as far as a favorite feature goes is the design of the fold-down armrest. The reason I say it's a favorite is because often when you have cup holders, they're here in the front. Instead of being in this vertical position, they're more parallel with everything. And that means when there's a drink in one or both drink holders, well, it basically takes away the ability to use this as an armrest. But in this particular case, it doesn't make a difference. I like that. That's the way I think all armrests should be made in the back seat of vehicles such as the CR-V. And because I spent some time living in Colorado at one point, going to school several years ago, I know how important it is to have all-wheel drive, and that is an available option on these CR-Vs regardless of trim level. They will come standard with front-wheel drive, but you can always opt for all-wheel drive. And for those of you who are old enough to remember the days when seat memory was practically unheard of, or you just had to pay a lot of money on a real high-end vehicle, well, it's not unusual to see seat memory these days. And I like the fact that it is here on the EXL trim level with the CR-V, because it doesn't matter who drives your CR-V, you can always get the seat back where it was when you last drove it. And the 9-inch touchscreen. I think it definitely fits in here. I don't think it's too small for this vehicle personally, but you can tell me what you think. But I like the fact that it has wireless capabilities for your cell phone, and when you pair your phone, it's just so simple. You don't even need a tutorial to do it. The screen walks you through everything. You have your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility, and it's a very simple system to learn overall. If you need to go in and make changes to your vehicle, we can go into vehicle settings, and once again, It's so easy to find what you need. Honda has made that super simple. That's how I know I like things. I don't like things that are overly complicated. Also, wireless charging. That always has its benefits. Although, the one thing I would really like to see is maybe a little bit more something on the side here to keep the phone in place, or maybe in the front more than anything else, because it can move back and forth. So it's always good to have a wireless charger that has the ability to keep your phone in place as best as possible. Although there can be some challenges with that, obviously, because of the fact that you have multiple sizes of phones. Connectivity is plentiful here in the front seat because you're going to have your USB-A and USB-C options, as well as your 12-volt power outlet. You'll also have your wireless charging pad on this trim level. That is always going to be beneficial. The one thing I wish was here that isn't is the addition of a second wireless charging pad. This wireless charging pad could actually, I think, be moved over just a tiny bit, and there'd be plenty of room for a second right there. That way the driver and the passenger could use wireless charging if they wanted to. And gas mileage, also a favorite. While you do not have the hybrid powertrain in this case, you still have solid gas mileage numbers. 28 city, 34 highway, 30 combined, and 3.3 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. And piggybacking off of that point is also the fact that if you choose to go non-hybrid, that means you only have one battery to deal with. And there you go. Those are my favorite features on the 2024 Honda CR-V EXL. Tell me what your thoughts are. Is there something you wish was available on the CR-V that currently is not? I'm always curious to know. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. That way you don't miss any future videos. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.